So the reason it seems like we're starting in the middle of the project is because we kind of are. The guy who we bought the bus from already gutted the whole thing, got all the seats out, and did the roof raise, putting these supports in. So we got it pretty much just as you see it, tarps and all. He gave us the galvanneal steel. He had already made these frames. This white part is a steel frame made out of square stock. We've been having to put supports in because the previous owner's plan and layout involved keeping this side door in. So now not everything lines up perfectly where we want it to be. So these sheets of metal that we have are 8 feet, and the next one is gonna end somewhere around here. So Gavin, our resident welder, is going to make a piece of square stock so that where the 2 pieces of sheet metal meet, we can, rivet them in, make them nice and sturdy. I'm having a really hard time explaining the timeline of this build because we jump around a lot. There was a big shift between us working on the back of the bus to us working on the sides of the bus. There's less footage and explanation than I would like of the construction of the back of the bus because it was soul crushing. I'm just gonna be completely honest. Gavin and I were fighting the bus, we were fighting each other, and it was really tough. So we got that done, and there's very little to show for it as far as footage is concerned. The process is very similar to what we're doing on the side panels. It was just, now we've got the hang of it. Now we don't have to make curves for the corners. Let me know if you have questions, and I'm happy to explain as much as I can. Thanks for bearing with me. I appreciate it. We've had this panel made and ready to go up for a few weeks, but we just didn't have a time when we were both off work and when the weather would cooperate. So one of the things on my list of to-dos before Gav gets home, so that we are prepped and ready, is just to clean up some of the rust. I also need to make sure that all of our batteries are charged. So I'm gonna go do that. Okay, so I haven't been in here for a little while and it's kind of a cluster. So I'm just gonna clean up really quick. We use a pneumatic rivet gun and a pneumatic caulk gun because we have so much of this paneling to do, and they've both been super game changers. At least now I can walk around in here. If you don't know, this is a flap wheel. It has flaps on it. That looks good enough to me, but Gavin's a bit of a perfectionist, so we'll see what he thinks. So if it wasn't obvious, these sheets of metal are extremely heavy. They're probably close to 100 pounds each. And that is why Gavin made this contraption to strap onto the front of the tractor using a couple of pallets, some 2x4s, some plywood, and he screwed some really strong magnets to each side to hold the sheet to this jig while he positions it in place. So right now we are measuring where we need to cut out for the window, and because we're lazy fucks, we're gonna try and cut it right on here. Yep.
Now the problem is...
No problems. Today I got a lucky clover.
No problems. You're right direction in this one.
it takes forever to drill out all those holes and put in all the rivets. And we are also out of sealant right now, that special kind of sealant that we put on. So we're just putting self-tappers in. This side is completely undone, as you can tell. But we're putting self-tappers in just to hold them up there so that we can work on the floors in the wintertime when it starts to get a little nasty outside. So that's what we're going to be doing for the foreseeable future. We're going to spin the bus around, start working on the other side, and I hope that you join us to see the rest of our progress. If you're curious to see what kind of adventures and shenanigans we get up to, please do subscribe, and you can click right there to do so. I also post videos and little updates to Patreon, which will always be the first link in the description underneath this video. It's half free, half pay to play, so pick your poison. I'd love to see you over there as well. Thank you so much for hanging out, and I'll see you next time. Bye!